the same. So let's just try and settle our mind. In yoga, they would have you put your legs up on the wall. So we're going to do the mental version of putting our legs up on the wall and just relaxing, and then we'll go into the meditation. So just check, first of all, your feet. If you are sitting on a chair with your feet flat on the ground, like on an office chair with your feet on the ground, make sure they're in a parallel position. So you're not sitting with your legs crossed, because that changes the angle of the spine. So you can put a little cushion underneath your feet and make sure your lower leg and your upper leg are at kind of a right angle with each other. And if you are sitting in the usual meditation posture, on your chair, on a cushion, on the floor, on the couch, and sitting in a cross-legged position is difficult for you, you can put cushions underneath your knees. Put a cushion underneath your sit bones so your pelvis is straight. And you can imagine your pelvis is a bowl of liquid. And you don't want to be tipping that bowl too far back or too far forward. So your sacrum is straight. Hands are in the meditation mudra, which means the right hand is in the left with the thumbs touching, and your arms are just gently resting in your lap. So let's just imagine our spine is made of a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And just imagine there's someone standing above you, very gently lengthening your spine upwards. And you can take a deep breath here if you need to. Your shoulders are over the hips. And if you can, the ears are aligned with the shoulders. Your head is slightly tipped forward. If the head is too far back, it creates agitation in the mind. If it's too far forward, you kind of constrict the throat. Also makes you feel very sleepy. The eyes are down, open or closed. I suggest closed. Looking along the length of the nose, if they were open, to a spot about 2 inches ahead of you. Tip of the tongue is usually on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw, and the lips can be apart. So let's just bring the mind to the breath and just very gently breathing in and breathing out. And notice the sensation of cool air as you're breathing in, flowing in across the nostrils, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. And bring your attention to the crown of the head. Relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes. The nose, the cheeks, the jaw again. Go to the back of the head and relax the scalp, the back of the head, the ears, the temples, the neck, and the shoulders, and your back as much as you can. If you are sitting on a chair, couch, try not to be leaning into the supporting surface. So we just try and hold ourselves up. It just allows the energy to travel a little bit more cleanly through the body. And just bring the mind to the breath as you're breathing in and breathing out. If there's any sounds in your external environment, just allow those sounds to be there. And we've all had busy days today, so the 1,000,001 thoughts that are passing through our mind right now, just allow them to come and go. Just let them go. Try not to hang on to anything or focus in on it or judge it or follow a story or ruminate over something that happened today. Just let it go. We're going to deal with that shortly. Just bring the mind to the breath as we motivate. So we just think we're doing this purification practice tonight. First of all, rejoice. How amazing. We're still alive. We didn't die today. So we're still alive. We can physically do this practice for ourselves, for people in our life, so we can be of benefit to them. So let's just remember there is no negativity that cannot be purified. So this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind. So tonight we're going to create positivity with our mind instead. We're going to try and counteract it. So this practice is called the Vajrasattva Practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers. And the first of these is the power of regret. So just regret from the depths of your heart anything that you have done to harm any living being today, in this life, perhaps past lives, things you can't remember. And think of actions of specifically of your body and your speech. And just think maybe if there was something that happened today, some little frustration, maybe you're a little bit sharp with someone, just generate a sense of regret. And the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. And because we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. So given the suffering that we experience day to day, we understand we don't want any more. So the logic is therefore to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering. So you think, I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows. So those of us here who have vows, if they've degenerated or been broken, just regret from the depths of our heart. And we also regret any anger or kind of unhealthy attachment energy, which are the cause of why we harm others. And think, okay, so who can I turn to? What can I do about this? And here we come to the power of reliance. So in this case, first of all, we think about refuge. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who has the methods we can use to purify. So we're not asking Guru Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can imagine if you have a teacher, a trusted mentor, your Lama, however you wish to label them. You can imagine this is the mind of that person manifesting in this way for your benefit. So this Vajrasattva is about 2 inches above the crown of your head, facing the same direction as you. And you can imagine he's made of radiant, blissful, translucent white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. Has this beautiful radiant face and lotus-like eyes. And they're peaceful, full of love and compassion for us and for all sentient beings. No judgment, accepts you exactly as you are, meets you exactly where you are. He has a sweet red mouth and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a Vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. Their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So this next little section is on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people that you've harmed recently. Maybe there was someone today and in the past. And then perhaps in general, all beings we've ever harmed since beginning of this time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because they will suffer as a result of the harm that they've done to you. So it's not about revenge, but just is about generating compassion. So make this strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and just think, I must purify for their sake. So here we come to the power of the remedy. And the first is purification of the body. So imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar quite strongly from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring in and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And it pours out of you and disappears into space. Not one atom left. It doesn't pollute you or the environment. It just disappears as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpeyata Sawakama Sutame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida mebawa, sutokaya mebawa, supokaya mebawa, anarakta mebawa, sawasidi mebe yata sawa kama sutame, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa, sutokaya mebawa, supokaya mebawa, Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebe yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything be of benefit to others now with your body. So next is the purification of speech. So again, imagine Guru Vajrasattva very happily sending powerful nectar from his heart chakra, again arcing around, and quite strongly enters the crown of your head, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativities of your speech. And this kind of just overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine that all the gossip and the harsh speech, the useless speech, talking about people behind their back and getting other people to agree with you All this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you. So just visualize this, or just imagine this as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahazamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but be of benefit to others now with your speech. And the next is the purification of the mind. So now Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends this time light from his heart chakra, quite strong beams of light. And these arc around, entering your crown chakra and filling your entire being. So just as you imagine when you walk into a room and you switch on a light, it instantly dispels the darkness in the room. So in the same way, the minute the light hits your heart chakra, or the negative energy of your mind is instantly dispelled. All the attachment, grasping, neediness, anxiety, depression, anger, wishing to harm, bitterness, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa, Sutokaya Meboa, Supokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sitame, Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dila mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Dila mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supakaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mebe Yata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan Savatata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, completely finished. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and wisdom and compassion and bliss. So the next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So this time imagine that Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar simultaneously. So you can either imagine just that, or you can imagine the previous three visualizations of the body, speech, and mind. Or you can imagine it all happening all at once. So whatever your mind can manage. So when this light hits your heart again, you can imagine that it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa supakaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina mebawa supakaya mebawa supakaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sudam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mebi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam guruhum ha 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 ho Bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabhava mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Now feel completely purified, not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the fourth of the four opponent powers is the power of resolve. So here we are trying to make a determination, a decision to refrain from things that are harmful to ourselves and to others. And sort of without this determination to not harm with our body and our speech and mind again, we're going to keep doing the same old things, following the same old patterns. So it's like a beacon that guides us, this decision we make. I will not do this. I'm going to try and refrain from that. So everything exists on the tip of the wish. So we have to want to do this. So just think of something, perhaps a habit that you're aware of. It can even be just slight impatience or irritation to watch out for. Whatever it is, maybe try and refrain from it for whatever amount of time you can manage. And just make a promise to ourselves, between now and tomorrow, I'm going to refrain from this thing for 5 seconds, 20 seconds, 8 hours while I'm sleeping. Maybe instead of offering my opinions all the time, I'll keep my mouth shut for 5 minutes. Whatever works. So this gives us the strength to change. So to conclude, Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind, melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, my body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends we meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. So in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So place at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little while. So we just think of all phenomena as empty, that do not exist from their own side. You can think of things as being just dependent arisings. And then perhaps again think of the way our body is structured. When I came out of my chiropractor appointment a week ago, she straightened my spine to the point that it was maybe half an inch longer. And the world definitely looked a little bit different, had a slightly different perspective. So we just think about that in terms of how we perceive the world. See if that lands anywhere. Okay, so let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created by doing this purification practice this evening to all living beings. And we think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings as quickly as possible. Long life prayers now for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world. To the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the 3 jewels, savor of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe-la, Geshe-shera, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequaled guide. Please have a long and stable life. My apologies for going over. We lost Ethan. Yeah, it was a little bit, probably too much. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for coming. I love doing this practice with you all. And I'll see you I'll see some of you on Sunday at Venerable Rabina's teaching, or Monday,
wonderful.
but definitely. What was that?
It was wonderful. It's always so wonderful practicing with you. Thank you so much.
You're so kind, Susan. It's wonderful practicing with you too. And I look pretty silly sitting here by myself doing it, wouldn't I? So thank you for coming.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank